Hello, everyone. Trust you're doing well. This is Samuel Ajayi again. This is the first part in the series, which I promised sometimes ago to do on selling points for your F1, F2 visa interviews, or even B interviews too, uh, at the U.S. Embassy. Now, the premise to this is that everyone going for visa interview have a selling point which you can sell to the viewer, to the visa official interviewing you. You have your selling point which you can present to the viewer and impress the viewer, because basically that's just what they want. That's what they want to see. They want to see you as someone who is genuine, someone who is exceptional, someone who is outstanding. So this is the first part in the series. I'll quickly talk about your selling point. This is for particularly for student, for someone who is a student. Some selling points you can use for the view. Remember, I mentioned everyone has a selling point. Number one, if you are a student, one of your selling point is your grades. I'll say that again. If you are a student, one of your selling points is your grades. If you have a very good grade in school, for example, you had a first class in school, with every question that comes to you from the view, find a way to tie your answer around your grade too. Okay, some of the questions that may come may be, oh, why are you going to study in the United States? You may say, oh, you are going to study this and that at the United States, blah blah and blah. Then you start going further and say, tell them, let them know that you had, as someone who had a first class grade in my department, or in my department of blah blah blah, who had a first class grade, I decided to further my, can you call my education, blah 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 blah. So you can find a way to always bring your grade into the question. The question might even be, how did you get this scholarship? Tie it back to your grades. You had a first class grade. In fact, it's possible the viewer does not know what the first class grade means. You can use percentage to drive your points too. You can talk about being one of the top 2% in your class, or top 5% in your class, or your school, as the case may be. Just find a way to use it to your advantage, because everyone has that selling point, and you only need to recognize your selling point. You might not even have a first class. It might just be that it's a 2-1, but you are the best graduating student. Mention it, that you are the best graduating student. The viewer may not necessarily ask you a question like, okay, are you the best graduating student in your set, or are you the best student in your set, or what does your grade look like? You are the one that will give the viewer the avenue to ponder, to think upon the fact that you are the best graduate student. You are the one that will have to introduce it in a certain way, and you can use it for any of the questions. So your grade is a good selling point which you can use to your advantage. Number two selling point which you can use, I think I'll just give two today, two or three. Number two which you can use is even the course you are studying, or the course you studied. Okay, or the course you are going to study. For example, if you studied medicine and surgery and you are going for public health, for example, lay emphasis on the fact that you studied medicine and surgery, and then you have helped a lot of people in the hospital, this and that. The work you have done as a surgeon, as a doctor, lay emphasis on it strongly. Okay, so you just want it, what you want the VO to be doing is for the VO to listen to you, and the VO should just say, oh wow, wow, you're a doctor, wow, you saved this person's life. Lay emphasis on these things, give examples. Okay, the VO may not necessarily ask you those questions. You may say, oh, but I filled it in the DS-160 form, the VO should know. No, you are the one that should lay emphasis on it, because at that point the VO is thinking in the direction of your words. It's those things you are saying that the VO is thinking about. That's sometimes the form is our next question to you. So for example, someone who studied physics, for example, everyone knows that physics is a bit tough, blah blah blah. Talk about the fact that you studied physics at so university, and then you are going to study nuclear physics for your PhD program, this and that, and you are mentioning that nuclear physics and what it can do. Anyone that hears nuclear physics is like, wow, you're so smart. That's the first thing that comes to them. So use that opportunity to drive home your point. One of the things you can use, some people may not think it's important, or it's a big deal. The school you finish from, for example, you finish from UIF, University of Ibadan, for example, in Nigeria. Might say I finished from the first university in Nigeria. Lay emphasis on that point. Now, it doesn't look strong enough because it's not personal to you, but what it does show is that you have professors, or you have people who are able to, professors in the school who are, of high caliber and the like, because of the standard of the school. Because even schools that choose you, they look at the standard of the school. So, but the point I'm just driving here is this: everyone has that selling point. You have your selling point. One other selling point you can use as a student is your GRE result. If you have a good GRE result, use it. Include it. The VO may not ask you any question about GRE at all. They may not ask you any question about standardized tests, but use it. In fact, one question that was asked someone recently who went for an interview and got it, was, I can't remember what the question was, but the person just mentioned the fact that he did GRE, and the viewer was like, "Oh, you wrote GRE too? Wow, that's interesting." Blah blah blah. That's, you may not know, that may be what will influence the viewer's decision for you. So use your selling point. Sit down and think about it. What is my selling point? What is my selling point? But you see, everything that I've mentioned today is about grades, about school, your grade, your department, what you have done. I'll still come in other parts to talk about other selling point, because somebody may think, "Oh, I had to attended Tai University." I'm not saying Tai Solarin is not good, but when you talk about names of university in Nigeria or in other places, the first names you will hear will be UI, OAU, Unilag, blah blah blah. So someone say, I had to attended Tai Solarin. I didn't do a course that is prestigious in a way. However, you can make any course looks prestigious. There is no course that is a waste, in quotes. Someone who studied agriculture, for example, you can talk about how is the problem, as the solution to the food crisis in the nation, which is what you want to do. You can hammer that point, and that's why you went to study agriculture. You are proving to the viewer that, oh, this person is visionary, oh, this person has insight, oh, this person is looking into the future. That's what the viewer is thinking about you. Okay, when you are saying, oh, agriculture is this and that, you lay those emphasis. But let's even say you have studied a course that is not so prestigious, that is not so well known in terms of what they do and the likes, and you didn't attend one of those schools, and you didn't have a good grade, you didn't write GRE. Are there still ways you can impress the view? Yes, and I'll talk about it in some other videos, and that's why you need to really start planning for your visa interview ahead of time. You need to start planning ahead of time. Even there are ways in which those who are going for B visas, B2, B1, B2 visas can impress the viewer and let them know, hey, I'm genuine. I'm just going to spend my hard-earned money in your country. But I'll come to those videos later. But this is the part one in the series of that talks about your selling points to the visa official for visa interviews. Okay, everyone, let me reiterate it, everyone has selling point. You have a selling point. You only need to recognize what your selling point is and use it to your advantage. You lay emphasis on it, use it to your advantage. Before I leave, I want to say to you, please subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed. Let us grow. Let's grow together. Share to friends if you have friends. Please share to them. The more you share, the more people will see the video. The more you like, the more people will see the video, and the more likely people will subscribe too. Okay, so I really appreciate. Subscribe, share in whichever platform. But don't forget, you have your selling point, and you should start looking out for your selling point. Start thinking about it. It's not, sometimes it's not what will just jump on you when you get in front of the visa official. Sometimes you need to think about it ahead of time and plan it. Plan how you want to say it. Plan what you want to say ahead of time, because the questions will just jump on you, and before you know it, in 2-3 minutes the interview is done. And within those time, you need to drop your point, drop your selling point, impress the viewer. Let the viewer see you as, wow, you're exceptional. Wow, you are this. Why you are that. Now, I've talked about things about grades, which shows that the person is really exceptional, right? Talks about things about grades, GRE score, this course you studied. Some courses are so difficult, like when people hear you study those courses, they're like, Wow, really? You did that? People, some and viewers are human beings too. They have emotions. They think this certain this way too. Okay, but in case you don't have any of these things, there are other things that we can still do, and I will talk about it in the next video, hopefully. God bless you. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking.